Calling all guardians, calling all guardians. Hello, it is your friend Pool, Dead here. So I put up a sword flying video for Titans, which got quite a few views. I put up a Warlock how to well skate that got a tremendous amount of views within a day. Unbelievable. I want to thank everybody that watched my videos. For real, I appreciate it. And now I'm making a shatter skate video. So you want to learn how to shatter skate. These are a couple of clips of how simple and easy it is. Honestly, for me, it's the easiest skate in the game. A lot of people say bubble skate's the easiest one because it's just casting your super and pulling the trigger for a heavy swing, but it's knacky, a lot more knacky than this. But as you can see in the game, in the background play, you get a tremendous amount of distance with it, and the beautiful part, you don't need a super. You just need to have Shatter Dive equipped. That's basically it. You could do this over and over and over again from point to point without stopping. You can also, as you're going to see right here, throw up a glacial grenade or a dusk field grenade, and use the crystal if you don't have an edge to fly off of. Here are the important factors. You need an eager edge sword. I use a Slammer Adept, but you can also get other ones like the Falling Guillotine, Half Truth, and the other half. My two swords here have different roles because I want to try something different. No specialty armor required, but you do have to have on stasis because it's shatter skating with Shatter Dive. I'm going to use a Duskfield Grenade here with Touch of Winter so that I can get the crystal in the middle. Shatter Dive is the most important thing. Well, it's tied. You're going to see in a moment, I strongly encourage everybody to change one thing in your controllers if you're a hunter. Now, I mentioned it in the Warlock well skate, but if you go to custom button layout and go all the way down to air dive, you want to make it a single press button. So I'm on a PS5, so it's a circle, but you want to make sure it's single press and not double press or long press. It'll save you a lot of time and heartache and heartbreak. As you can see, I'm going into a private match, and this is a good place to practice because you can put on unlimited ammo and unlimited grenade. So in a moment, we're going to be going in. I sped it up to 4 times speed because, hey, what the fuck, why not, right? Let's get through it quick. You can slow it down if you want to figure out what ones I chose for everything. So the first thing we're going to practice, because you have to understand how eager edge works. Now, I'm not saying anybody's stupid. I'm not saying that people should know by now. Some people just don't. So when you draw your sword with the eager edge, above your super bar, it says eager edge. That lasts for 4 seconds. So that means you have 4 seconds in order to activate whatever it is. And then you have to put it away for another 4 seconds in order for it to recharge. You see, I pulled it out within 2 seconds. There was no eager edge. I wait, pull it out, and it says eager edge. Again, wait, nothing at 3 seconds, but at 4 seconds, it'll recharge. Now, you're going to learn how to sword travel first. A lot of people do it incorrectly. You want to draw, if you draw your sword and you don't have eager edge, you're not going to get distance. But when you have eager edge, it's going to launch you forward. And you can see the difference in how far you're going. And of course, you could cut off your swing with your Shatter Dive. So without eager edge, that's how far you go, right? Not too far. It doesn't seem like it's well worth it. But you draw the sword and look at how much distance you get. And in a moment, you're going to see how you could travel even further. And that's utilizing one unique thing. So if I pull out my sword and I put it away, I get a really good distance. They nerf this so that you have to put your weapon away or change weapons. So with eager, you get distance. Without eager, you get no distance. You only lurch forward a little bit. Now, in order to go even further, you're going to want to hop, swing your sword, your light swing, and it's going to propel you forward. And then you hop to gain more distance. See how far we went there? So the hops, as long as you're timing it right and getting as long of an extension as you can, you should be good. And this is just So you could travel faster and further through areas where you can't use, let's say, a skimmer or your hoverboard. So this will help you gain momentum and move through areas where you can't cast your vehicle. But now we're going to get to shatter skating. So, as per usual, you want to be at an edge. You don't have to be directly on an edge, but I always recommend finding an edge or using your grenade to create an edge, right? And what we're going to do is propel ourselves out by pulling out our sword so we get eager edge, and then we're going to pull the trigger, hit jump, and then hit your shatter dive at the same time. So all three buttons should be triggered within a millisecond of each other, but it's always your heavy swing first and then the other two buttons. And, it's easier. You could use your pointer finger on your right hand to pull the trigger and then your thumb to roll from jump onto shatter dive. And I know a lot of people out there are going to be like, I have small thumbs, but hey. So here's an example of where you're going to use your grenade. And I slowed it down. You can see I throw my grenade against the wall, hop on top, and I'm going to fuck up a couple times here, so I'm sorry, but I concentrated too much in order to get it right, but I shouldn't have. I should have just went all natural and jumped up there like I usually do. But once you're on top of the ice shard, you can utilize this as an edge, and you're going to see, boom, in a moment. So we pull out the sword, we pull the trigger and hit both the jump and the shatter dive at the same time, or within a millisecond. But the order within that microsecond would be pull the trigger for a heavy swing, hit jump, and then hit your shatter dive. But you're going to be pretty much mashing the buttons. You pull the trigger first, though, and then mash the other two. And in a moment, you're going to see how far we actually flew. And I'm quite sure we could have went further, but there's a barrier there, a wall. Here's another example of ice shard jumping. This works well in Vow of the Disciple to get the secondary chests. There's areas where you can't travel to unless you're able to, utilize ice shards or Salvation's Grip, something along those lines. But you can see how this utility works out really well. Like, you can even have a teammate throw up an ice grenade if you don't have one. Now, with the shatter skate, you do want to make sure that once you trigger it and you start flying, hey, that's great. But if you watch, as soon as I start to descend, I hit jump. So we fly out, I jump because I'm starting to descend, and I just keep jumping to get further distance. And here is my gear, what I have equipped, in case people were wondering. I know a lot of people are like, hey, I wonder what that helmet is, or what those arms are, or what the hat is, the cloak. But that's about it for Shatter Dive. If you have any questions or concerns or statements or anything like that, please comment, put your questions or statements inside the commentary, and I will reply as fast as I can. But until next time, Guardians, congratulations on learning how to shatter skate. Have a great day.